Mastocytosis describes a group of disorders where there's an abnormal accumulation of mast cells in the tissue. This can be limited to the skin, which is called cutaneous mastocytosis, or it could be more diffuse, which is called systemic mastocytosis. As a quick recap of physiology, mast cells are innate white blood cells that reside in the tissue, and they don't usually circulate. Once activated, these granulocytes can release potent inflammatory mediators like histamine to defend against helminthic parasites or cause symptoms of allergic diseases. Stem cell factor is a growth factor essential for mast cell development and proliferation. Its surface receptor on mast cells is called KIT. Now, the pathogenesis of mastocytosis is underlined by the excessive expansion of mast cells, and many of these genetic abnormalities associated with the condition arise from gain-of-function mutations in KIT. This makes mast cells more responsive to their growth factors. It's important to keep in mind that these cells actually have a large repertoire of effector mediators other than histamine, like heparin, leukotrienes, prostaglandins, platelet activating factor, proteases, and cytokines. Let's break down the classification of mastocytosis. Cutaneous mastocytosis is commonly diagnosed in young children, and the disease is often limited to the skin with an absence of pathologic infiltrates in internal organs. There are 3 variants of the cutaneous disease: Maculopapular cutaneous mastocytosis, diffuse cutaneous mastocytosis, and solitary mastocytomas. Systemic forms of the disease mostly affect adults and can infiltrate organs. There are 5 variants of this version, which can be indolent or aggressive. Its clinical features are caused by the active substances mast cells make and the local tissue responses to their abnormal infiltration. Because these bioactive molecules can act locally and systematically, a breadth of signs and symptoms occur in both cutaneous and systemic forms. These vary in severity from mild to life-threatening and mimic symptoms of allergy, including intermittent flushing, diarrhea, crampy abdominal pain, and vascular collapse from recurrent, severe anaphylactic episodes. Cutaneous infiltration can cause a specific rash called MPCM, or maculopapular cutaneous mastocytosis. This was formerly known as urticaria pigmentosa. This consists of multiple, monomorphic, reddish macules. If you lightly rub the affected skin and it causes erythema or urticaria, this is called Darier's sign, and is suggestive of the presence of mast cells within the lesion. In systemic versions, hematologic abnormalities might arise, resulting in splenomegaly, fatigue, and weight loss. Cytopenias such as anemia, leukopenia, and thrombocytopenia may develop in the systemic forms due to infiltration of the bone marrow by mast cells and interference with normal hematopoiesis. Moreover, marrow infiltration in systemic versions can induce osteoporosis, in part due to the inflammatory environment created by excessive mast cells. To investigate this disease, it's important to understand the diagnostic criteria for systemic mastocytosis, which is a histopathic and genetic diagnosis, not a clinical one. The WHO diagnostic criteria has major and minor criterion. The major criterion is multifocal dense infiltrates of mast cells, while the minor ones include strange mast cell morphology or receptor expression, a high tryptase, or a specific identified mutation. Diagnosis of the systemic form requires 1 major and 1 minor, or 3 minor criteria. The management of mastocytosis focuses on symptom control, including an H1 antihistamine for flushing and pruritus, PPIs for gastric acid hypersecretion, and a mast cell stabilizer like cromolyn sodium for diarrhea and abdominal pain. For severe disease, cytoreductive therapy might be indicated. Similarly, Stem cell transplantation and small molecule tyrosine kinase inhibitors with activity against mutated KIT can be considered. Finally, most patients should be given an EpiPen because of the high incidence of anaphylaxis. Let's summarize its management with a quick mnemonic. All patients should be given a MAP to an EpiPen, mast cell stabilizer, antihistamine, PPI, and an EpiPen. Thanks for watching Townsend Teaching.